Running a veterinary practice takes skill, heart, and hustle, but when it comes to the business side, that's where many DVMs feel stuck. If that's you, you're not alone, and that's exactly why I created this weekly series. Uh, Whoops, sorry, I have some issues with my tech today. I'm Cassie Sykes, enrolled agent and founder of Greener Pastures Income Tax. Each week, I go live to break down the numbers behind profitable, sustainable veterinary practices so you can make confident business decisions without getting buried in spreadsheets. Uh, why I give this away for free? Because when veterinary practices are financially healthy, everyone wins. You, the owner, your team, and most importantly, the animals in your care. And to be honest, it's also helpful for me. Showing up live every week helps to pull me out of my shell and stay connected to the incredible community I serve. Each week, you'll walk away with real strategies to manage cash flow, increase profitability, and move your practice forward without the stress or overwhelm. If you know a fellow vet who could use this information, tag them and share this live. I always check back on these, so feel free to tag a friend even if you're watching after we're live. Uh, Here we are diving in now. So let's talk about something that's not flashy, but is absolutely essential to the long-term health of your veterinary practice. Compliance and financial risk management and how it can help safeguard your veterinary practice. You didn't open your practice to become an expert in state licensing, employment law, or IRS audit triggers. But unfortunately, this stuff is part of the game. And what I've seen over and over is that the most successful practices aren't just great at caring for animals, they're great at protecting their business from avoidable risks. Hang on a second. Sorry, we have a new kitten and I left it out loose. Probably wasn't a good idea. Anyways, so when you ignore compliance or skip over the financial foundation, it doesn't just create stress, it creates exposure. Fines, penalties, back taxes, lawsuits, surprise bills, all of these can start from small things that slip through the cracks. So today we're going to break this all down. We'll talk about the most common compliance mistakes I see in veterinary clinics, where financial risk shows up, and how it gets expensive fast. And most importantly, how to stay ahead of it without drowning in admin work. In case, oh, in case we haven't met, I'm an enrolled agent. I am Cassie Sykes, an enrolled agent, which is the highest credentialed awarded by the IRS, and the founder of Greener Pastures Income Tax. I specialize in working with veterinary professionals just like you to help simplify the number side of the business, reduce financial overwhelm, and build a more profitable, sustainable practice. I've been doing this for over 25 years now. I'm based here in East Texas. I've been married since 2006. We've got two teenagers. And in my off hours, you can usually find me playing roller derby. Yes, my derby name is a nod to April 15th because, well, tax season. So yeah, if I can untangle tax code and compliance regulations after a scrimmage, I promise we can make it make sense for your practice today as well. So to start out, I know real life examples are great. So I'll tell you a quick story. So a vet owner, I worked with a vet clinic owner. Um, we'll call her Dr. M. Had been in practice for years. So she ran a busy, beloved small animal clinic. Great care, great community reputation. But when she came to me, she was exhausted and frustrated. She'd just been hit with a $14,000 payroll penalty. Why? Because her office manager, who was amazing with clients and animals, missed a quarterly payroll tax deposit. And then the second one, and then the third. So they all thought that it had all been submitted through the payroll system, but it turns out the connection with the IRS had failed. No alerts, no paper notices, just an IRS agent knocking with an unpleasant surprise. The kicker was that they had the money the entire time. It wasn't a cash issue, it was a process issue. And what makes this stuff so frustrating is you can be doing 95% of it right and still end up paying the price for that 5% gap. Um, Again, with the replay view, anybody who's watching this on replay, please drop a comment and let me know if this has ever happened to you. I've seen it happen a lot of times. Even if you are a replay viewer, not on live, I still read every comment. So please feel free to drop them. Let me know your thoughts. So first part of fixing this is the common compliance mistakes. So compliance is the legal, operational, and tax rules your practice needs to follow to stay in good standing. So here are some of the top pitfalls that I see. First is misclassifying workers. Relief vets, part-timers, and techs are often incorrectly labeled as independent contractors. The IRS has a strict test for this, and if someone is treated like an employee but paid like a contractor, it can trigger payroll tax penalties and back wages under labor laws. The second is overlooking sales tax. Veterinary services aren't taxable in many states, but retail products often are. That includes flea meds, pet foods, shampoos, supplements, and even bandanas. If you're selling them and not collecting tax, you could owe years of back taxes with interest. The third is neglecting DEA and controlled substance laws. Any practice handling controlled drugs has extra compliance obligations. That includes inventory tracking, record keeping, and proper disposal. DEA audits are rare, but when they happen, they're pretty serious. The fourth is inconsistent licensing. So I've seen clinics operate for years without renewing their city business license or not updating state board information when an ownership change happens. These lapses can jeopardize your legal ability to operate. The fifth is late payroll tax filings. So these are also easy to miss, especially if you're using a system like QuickBooks Payroll or Gusto and think it's automated. You need to make sure deposits are being made, returns are being filed, and the right people are being paid correctly. Also, OSHA and HR oversights. So I know it sounds like a corporate buzzword, but clinics really do need to be OSHA compliant. Proper signage, chemical handling, sharps disposal, and updated employee manuals all matter. Um, where financial risk lurks. So, financial risk, because this isn't just about staying legal, it's about keeping your cash flow stable and your practice protected. So, here are some examples of where risk shows up. Not keeping books up to date. If your QuickBooks file is a mess or you're relying on bank balances to make decisions, you're flying blind. Also, if you're paying somebody to take care of your QuickBooks but not reviewing reports, not meeting with them, not or only talking with them once a year when they prepare your taxes, you're missing out on a lot. Reviewing reports is super important. Oh, sorry, I guess it's storming here. A lot of thunder. The next part is not maintaining reserves. So practices that don't have at least 1 to 2 months of overhead and reserves are constantly one unexpected bill away from panic. No proactive tax planning. If you're not estimating your taxes quarterly or setting aside for it, you could end up with a big bill in April and no plan to pay it. If you're underinsured or wrongly insured, if you're running on outdated general liability coverage without additional protections for cyber threats, employment practices, or malpractice, and also not separating business or personal and business finances. I see this all the time, especially with sole props and S corps. One audit or legal dispute, and that blurred line becomes a liability. I've also recently seen multiple business owners paying for business B out of business A bank account. Again, that's interme or commingling, and that's not good. So financial risk isn't always obvious. It builds slowly. It's like water behind a dam. It doesn't seem like a problem until the pressure breaks something, and then it's a huge problem. Let's shift into how to get ahead of this without turning your clinic into a compliance police state. So here's what I recommend. Number one is to get your books in order monthly. If you're not reviewing P&Ls and reconciliations monthly, now's the time. You need to know what's coming in, what's going out, and what your margins look like. Number two is to schedule quarterly financial reviews at a minimum. Whether that's with me or with someone else, you need to get an outside perspective on your numbers. Are you profitable? Are you overpaying in taxes? Is your compensation structured right? That type of thing. The third is to create a compliance calendar. I love this. So even a basic Google sheet with due dates for payroll, sales tax, business license renewals, DEA logs, and insurance reviews can save you from last minute chaos. So especially ours, the way ours is set up is we have what it is, what the due date is, and a link to how to do it. So the sales tax, a lot of times you do it once a quarter and you forget. So having a link with instructions on step by step it's saved us a ton of time. So again, create a compliance calendar. The fourth thing is to separate roles. So you shouldn't have the same person handling the money, recording the books, and reconciling the accounts. It's not about distrust. It's about protecting the business and its people. Multiple sets of eyes is important. Number five is to build a reserve. Even if it's 500 a week, you need to start setting something aside. Your future self will thank you the day a surgery light blows or your AC unit dies in July. The sixth is to talk to your insurance rep annually. So you need to make sure you're covered for what you actually do. Every practice is different. Equine, mobile, exotics, small animal, rehab. Your insurance policy should reflect that. You don't want a one-size-fits-all insurance policy. I know this was a lot, and a lot of it's not fun, but here's what I want you to take away from today. You don't need to be perfect. I need to repeat that for myself. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do everything yourself. You just need to have eyes on it and know when to ask for help. So that's what I'm here for. If you're ready to take a closer look at your numbers, identify gaps, and build a financial system that actually supports your practice, let's talk. You can book a free profit and cash flow analysis using the link in the comments or in my bio. We'll dig into where you're at, where you're vulnerable, and how to protect your practice moving forward. This profit call is free, it's confidential, and it's a smart first step. Before you go, I want to share an incredible resource designed to elevate your veterinary practice's financial success. I put together a free ebook just for you. It's called 7 Financial Strategies. Inside it, you'll discover practical steps to increase profitability, improve cash flow, and make smarter financial decisions for your practice. You can grab your free copy in the comments. It is completely free, as I said, and I highly encourage you to check it out. And if you want to see your practice thrive. Plus, if you know another vet who could benefit, feel free to share it because every veterinary professional deserves the tools to build a profitable and sustainable practice. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you found this helpful, please like this video, share it with other veterinarians, and I will see you next week when we talk about how to streamline pet insurance coordination. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Thank you. And why is it not working? Stop share.